Hey, it's me, MLB. Here is Pull Chapter 25. This one is titled Dinner for Two. Should we call it a night? You asked as you successfully strangled him once again. He tapped your hand around his neck and nodded, doing another small cough as you released him. Stop by the corner store with me to eat dinner. It's not healthy to skip meals after a workout, he said in his usual apathetic voice, re-looping the scarf around his neck and settling it neatly. You nodded and wiped your brow, huffing a little after exerting yourself so much. I need to go down to the support workshop and get my change of clothes from Hatsume, he said. I left them there while we were doing the capture the flag / kidnap Miss Lin training exercise. Aizawa smirked. I did enjoy capturing you. I think the most concerning thing is that you enjoyed it, you deviant, you teased. Okay, I'll go and get changed and then I'll meet you at the front gates. Wait, I have the keys to get to the room. It'll be shut now. It's well after school hours. Oh, okay, you said, falling in step with him as you headed for the arena doors. Good thing you have the keys, but I guess I could have slid under the door to get in, like I did that second time that we met in your hotel room. I'm really sorry about that, by the way. No need for apologies, he replied without looking at you. I know what sleep deprivation looks like and feels like, and you looked shot that night. I was, he replied with a sigh. Well, I guess I can't complain too much. It's almost like we were meant to meet. I get the same feeling, he said softly. You left the conversation there, smiling gently to yourself as you walked down the darkened hallway. Soon enough you got to the workshop downstairs and Aizawa opened the door, then walked into the dark room as you followed him behind. Where's the You ran straight into the back of Aizawa, who quickly reached a hand back behind himself and placed it on your side to steady you. You alright? He asked. Yes, sorry, I didn't see you stop. Aizawa glanced at you from the corner of his eye, then looked straight ahead again. He continued on in the dark, but moved his hand from your side to your hand and held it gently so that you could feel where he was in the dark, and you kept your other hand on his shoulder, keeping him behind him. Do you know where the light switch is? You asked, still trying to get your eyes to adjust in the dark. Not exactly sure, but I'm going to get you to the office booth, as that's where Hatsume would have put your clothes. It would be unwise for her to keep them in the workshop because I know how messy she can be. You nodded in the dark and let your fingers intertwine with his as he kept slowly walking forwards. Ah, we're holding hands! We're actually holding hands! Your heart screamed. A few more steps and he reached the office door, then found his keys and opened it. Reaching in through the gap, he felt the wall, looking for the switch, and upon finding it, flicked it on. Light flooded the small office and you looked down to see your hand in his before he let go and pointed to the desk. There are your clothes. Oh, yeah, thanks, you said as you walked over and picked them up. As you lifted them up, you saw a note on the desk from Mei Hatsume. How did my baby perform? I bet she served you well. And I bet the male teachers enjoyed the view, she added cheekily. You quickly scrunched the note up and glanced back at Aizawa, who was observing you silently. I'll change now. You gestured vaguely to him, hinting that he should either leave or turn around, and he just stared at you with bloodshot eyes before finally getting the hint. I'll be outside, he said quickly, then turned and walked off into the dark. You let out a small huff of air as he disappeared and shook your head. He almost stayed for that one, you thought with an internal chuckle as you stripped out of your hero costume and then put your teacher's clothes back on. After leaving the hero costume on Hatsume's desk, with a thank you note as well, you walked to the office door, then flicked out the light. Everything went dark immediately and you scowled to yourself. Ugh, how am I supposed to get out of here without breaking an ankle or something? Can't see a damn thing. You had just started to walk when you heard someone ahead. Aizawa? You called. Yin, I'm here. Are you alright? He replied in the dark, his husky voice sounding almost paternal. Yeah, it's just dark and I don't want to trip on anything, you said back. Suddenly he was there in front of you. I do a lot of night work, he said calmly, taking your hand in his again. Follow me. I can see well enough. You allowed him to hold your hand and the two of you made your way back through the workshop towards the door and the light. Possibly the funniest thing was that because it was dark, neither of you could see the biggest grins on your faces, elated that you were holding hands again. Once outside the workshop, he let go of your hand, and you both continued side by side, up to get your things from the staff room, then out the school grounds, and off to the corner store for dinner. What do they have at the shop? You asked him, making small talk as you walked. All kinds of things, but mostly noodle dishes, Aizawa replied. I frequent the place when I'm on duty. So they know you well then? You asked with a smile. He nodded. Getting to the front doors of the small corner shop, Aizawa opened the door and ushered you in first, then stepped in behind you. Welcome, the older man called from the kitchen, poking his head out the door. You smiled and did a polite bow to him. Then the man saw Aizawa beside you. Eraserhead, he called happily. Come in, come in. Aizawa gently touched your arm and pointed to a two-seater table nearby, and you took his cue and sat down. I'll be out with you in a moment, the man called. And there ends chapter 25. Stay tuned for chapter 26.